Back in 2012, 11 years ago, the remains of an unidentified female toddler were found behind a trailer in Opelika, Alabama. And despite a man being charged with her murder in January of this year, police are still trying to find out what exactly happened. This is the tragic story of baby Jane Doe of Opelika, Alabama, on this episode of Small Town Horrors. On the night of January 28, 2012, authorities discovered a long-sleeve pink shirt with heart-shaped buttons. Near it, behind a trailer park on Earth Street, was the body of a toddler, estimated to be a girl between the ages of 4 and 7. Her body showed signs of physical abuse, malnutrition, scarring to her left eye that resulted in blindness, and 15 broken bones. In fact, her body was in such a brutal condition that her facial features were difficult to make out. In an attempt to identify baby Jane Doe, the authorities used digital animation to create an image of what her face would have looked like. But the case went cold. Believe it or not, it took 8 years until police were handed a real photograph of their Jane Doe. The picture of the child had been taken about a year before her death at Opelika's Greater Peace Baptist Church Vacation Bible School. The police used technology to enhance the pictures of this little black girl with her hair braided down and a disfigured eye. But by January of this year, still, no one had stepped up to identify baby Jane Doe. However, a genealogist working with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children managed to identify baby Jane Doe as Amore Joveah Wiggins. Her parents, Sherry Wiggins and Lamar Vickerstaff. The next step of the investigation took the police to Maryland, where they found Wiggins. But when they approached her, she showed documentation that custody of Amore was given to Vickerstaff and his new wife way back in 2009. Next up, Jacksonville, Florida, where Vickerstaff and his wife Ruth were living. He was uncooperative, but she informed the police that she didn't know her husband had a daughter. In fact, she was never enrolled in any school nor identified as a missing person. The two were charged with failure to report a missing child, and the father, he was charged with felony murder. But the investigation into the death of Amore Joveah Wiggins remains ongoing. And 11 years later, the police are still trying to figure out what happened to Amore after the custody transfer to her father.
Can y'all just say it one time? Lift her name up. Amore Joveah Wiggins.
Tune in next weekend to see what small town horror we visit next at theroot.com.